Hello everyone, Jeff the Green Review here. Many, and maybe even most newly planted trees don't need to be staked. If the tree is secure in the root ball or container, then it should be fine in the hole. If the roots are loose before planting, the tree might need stakes. If the tree is being planted in a windy location or has a large top and a small root system, it may need to be staked. If it's going to be planted bare root, it probably doesn't need to be staked. Never pile soil or mulch on the trunk to try to hold it in place. If the planting hole is large and the backfill not securely tamped because there's big pieces that went in first, a lot of empty space under there, then you need to water that in and get that in so that the tree will be secure. If you don't do that, then the roots may float when the tree is watered, the tree may lean or fall over and need to be staked. If a newly planted tree is leaning, don't try yanking it straight and holding it in place with a guy wire. It could break, and most likely it will lean back to its original angle when the wire is removed. Dig out enough soil to properly stand the tree up and then stake it. The 2 to 4 vertical pole method of staking, like I've got right here, is used in some areas of the country. I've seen more wood in the stakes than in the trunk of the tree being held up. The stakes need to be placed enough apart to miss the root ball and be in solid soil. Putting the stakes into the root ball, as I've seen, can still allow the tree to blow over or lean. The cross wires between the stakes need to allow the tree to move. Zip-it ties like this one have 2 features that make them great for stabilizing a tree. The first is there's a 14-inch rubber hose already on the tie that's secured into place. So this goes around the pole and the rubber hose part goes around the tree to protect the tree. The second improvement is the releasable head. It's a zip tie, so it pulls tight, but then it can be released and made larger and looser, and that way the zip tie can be loosened as the tree is blowing, so you can find out the proper level of movement. You want to have at least 6 inches of movement for the tree. The 3 small stakes and guy wire method of tree staking is used in many places. It does present more of a tripping hazard and may be too wide for trees planted in narrow parkway areas between the sidewalk and the street. The stakes need to be placed in solid soil at a 45-degree angle into the ground. The guy wires need to be flexible enough to allow the tree to move. If the wire is going to wrap around the trunk, it must be covered with a wide strap or a piece of garden hose to prevent damage to the trunk. No matter what kinds of stakes are used, the tree needs to be able to flex and move in the wind. The trunk should have the freedom to move at least 6 inches in all directions without being stopped. If the tree is held too tightly, it will not develop the strength to hold itself up when the stakes are removed. Trees without stakes develop a more extensive root system and a stronger trunk. The stakes should be removed within a year of planting. If the straps are tied too tightly, the tree trunk will not develop its own ability to remain standing. It will become weaker and weaker the longer it remains tied up. Wires left too long on a tree can become embedded in the trunk and either girdle it or weaken it. If you want to stake a palm tree, look at the Tree Hugger USA website for a product that won't damage the palm tree trunk. This guy wire was left on so long that the tree grew around the wire and hose, encasing them in the trunk. Dead bark, decay organisms, and the guy wire all create an area of weak wood inside the trunk. This tree is a hazard that will split long before it would have if the guy wire was removed after the first few months. You can see on the scar on the back of the tree where the tree grew over the wire. What's this mean to me? Remember the thigmotropism from the plant processes videos? Swaying in the wind causes plants to produce lignin. Lignin cements cellulose fibers together, making cell walls stronger. A wind-blown tree will be shorter, sturdier, and have a thicker trunk than a tree that is not in the wind, or that can't flex in the wind. Trees allowed to flex in the wind also develop stronger root systems. Stakes and guy wires must allow the tree trunk to flex and not hold it rigidly in place. If the tree is rigidly held in place, it will not develop a sturdy trunk or the strength to stand by itself. All support materials must be soft enough to not damage the trunk. They must be removed in less than 1 year before they start to girdle the trunk. And this is Jeff for the Green Review. Thanks for watching.